So we are actually inside we will go inside the right ventricle just now. Before that, let us see how it looks from above, because we are actually holding it anatomically and keeping it on my left palm. The apex is directed to the left. Now you can see this is actually a sternocostal surface which I am going to remove, and we are actually trying to cut it along the, I should say along the sternocostal surface to expose the interior of the right ventricle. So I am just removing it. So see, we have already shown you the location of the tricuspid valve, but now you can see it very clearly. I think we shall see the smooth part and the rough part of the right atrium, the right ventricle. Smooth part and rough part. Smooth part is actually the infundibulum, which this is the infundibulum. I should say that it is very difficult to hold it together. Look, I am stretching the pulmonary trunk. If I stretch the pulmonary trunk, it is cut actually, rather I should say this is how the pulmonary trunk actually was. So if I stretch it this way, you can see the location of, this was pulmonary trunk, this was the pulmonary trunk which has been cut actually. So if this has been cut, you can see the location of the valves inside. You can see that inside where my forceps is indicating, this is the presence of the pulmonary valve. My forceps is going inside pulmonary trunk. So this is a smooth part, or rather infundibulum of the right ventricle. I am just stretching it for you to see that semilunar valves with 3 cusps are there. So that indicates the presence of the smooth part or the infundibulum. Now we are in the rough part or the inflowing part. In the inflowing part, see, I have retracted the entire wall. If I have retracted the entire wall, first of all, see, we are seeing the beginning of the smooth part. This is the beginning of the smooth part, this. So what else do we find in the rough part? We find ridges, papillary muscles. The entire wall is thrown into a number of muscular projections which are called ridges. So these are ridges. Roughly these are all ridges. What is a bridge? Bridge means it connects 2 points. What are the 2 points? It is actually the septomarginal trabecula. So I would say, see, this is the interventricular septum. It's very thick and muscular. This is interventricular septum. So this is a septal papillary muscle. This is posterior papillary muscle. You can see the muscle with the cusps which are going towards chordae tendineae, to form the chordae tendineae. This is the anterior muscle which has been cut. This is anterior muscle. If I close it this side, see, all of them are going towards the tricuspid opening. All the valve cusps are leading towards the one cusp, one cusp, one cusp. You can see the cusps. The valve cusps are visible because you can see the cusps 1, 2, 3. See, look at this. This is 1 cusp, 1 anterior, this is 2 posterior, this is 3 septal, 1, 2, 3. These all, if I close them together, see, they will form the tricuspid opening. So as I opened it, it's a tricuspid opening, which means you can see the papillary muscles with the chordae tendineae. You can see the chordae tendineae, I'm retracting it, and they are leading to the valve cusps 1, 2 and 3. So I'm showing it again. This is septal, this is posterior, and this is anterior papillary muscle. So as I'm opening up, you can see the entire tricuspid opening. It has been opened up. So naturally, I would say ridges are all over. The muscular projections are all ridges which you can see. The 3 papillary muscles, septal, posterior, anterior, visible, because you can see the chordae tendineae linked to the valve cusps. So you can see the tricuspid opening also. So what's the bridge left? Septomarginal trabecula, basically from the muscular part of the interventricular septum or base of the anterior papillary muscle. It starts from the base of the anterior papillary muscle. And here is a septal papillary muscle. So here you can see the part of the bridge. So from the anterior papillary muscle it has gone, and this is the septal papillary muscle. So you can see the remnant of the bridge. It is going towards this bridge. This is a bridge which is going towards the base of the posterior papillary muscle. So we found the anterior papillary muscle. First to trace this, we have actually torn this. This is the torn end of the anterior papillary muscle. It was attached to the inside of the sternocostal surface. We have seen the septal papillary muscle. This is the base of the septal papillary muscle. You can see the rest of the bridge. It is connecting the base of the posterior papillary muscle. This is the direction of the bridge as my forceps is showing. This is the direction of the bridge as my forceps is showing from here till here. This is the direction of the septomarginal trabecula. It will contain the right bundle of hairs. The picture is very clear, but if I put a flag, I can put 3 flags on the 3 papillary muscles for you to understand. I am putting a green flag on the septal papillary muscle. I am putting a red flag on the posterior papillary muscle, and I am putting a yellow flag on the anterior papillary muscle. So that makes sense. You can understand the papillary muscles, you can understand the cusps of the valves. I can put cusps of corresponding colors for the cusp. See, one cusp is here. There is one cusp next for the posterior capillary muscle. One cusp is put with another pin, and I've put yellow pin for the corresponding anterior cusp. See, we have put 3 for the 3 papillary muscles and 3 suggestive of the cusp with the chordae tendineae. So that makes the tricuspid complex. So we find anterior papillary muscle, posterior papillary muscle, septal papillary muscle, septomarginal trabecula, which is the bridge joining the base of septal papillary muscle to the posterior papillary muscle. So that makes sense by saying it connects the 2 papillary muscles along the muscular part of interventricular septa, and it carries the bundle of hairs. Tricuspid valve complex is extremely clear. So you can see the 3 cusps, you can see it leads towards the tricuspid opening, and the rest of it is the pulmonary valve, which is actually the smooth part because it leads to the infundibulum. So this is the cut end of the pulmonary valve. See, you can see it from this surface also. See the valve, it is very clear. You can see the pockets of the valve very clearly. The pockets of the valve are very clear. Just focus on this, that there are 3 pockets with the semilunar valve cusps, which indicate that there is a ring or a fibrous tendon. See, the fibrous tendon is this. I am pointing with a blue pin. Where we are fixing the blue pin is actually the fibrous tendon. So this is the pulmonary valve complex. You can see the fibrous tendon together with the 3 valve cusps of the semilunar valve. These are pockets which allow regurgitation of the column of blood when it is being pumped from right ventricle into the infundibulum, or rather into the pulmonary trunk. So this is actually leading to the pulmonary trunk.